We're going to talk about the Joy Hub.
Right.
I like the idea of that and how that's supposed to work. But before that, you said, like yesterday, you did say you raised up your hand when you talked about people who are suffering or have suffered depression. And I think a lot of people will be surprised because, I mean, you seem like a very accomplished young man. You've achieved amazing things. What was it or what is it? I'm assuming whatever the case is. And if you're out of it, how did that happen?
Right, there are two parts of it. First, depression is, if you look at depression as 100%, 40% of it is genetic. As far as the science of depression has come, 20% of it is dependent on your environment, which is your location can affect your mental health, where you live can affect your mental health, your relationships, all of those things, and 40% depends on you. So people like me who, for want of an easier way, whose personality type tend towards melancholy. And if you're a creative, if you're a comedian, if you're a writer, if you think too much about the world, you try to think about, why is this world like this? Why are we here? What's the meaning of life? You are the person
that's already a problem.
That's already a problem. You are more likely to find the answer in depression because other people just do it. But you think about it. You're
looking for the answer.
You're looking for the answer. So if you're like that, you're more likely to face depression. Now, so that was it. I'd always been predisposed, so to speak, to depression. And so I've dealt with low-grade depression for a while. You know, low-grade situations will escalate it, but then I'd manage it. And I've gone back and forth since law school. My first depressive episode was in law school. So literally, it was my environment.
I know I'm laughing, but I've been through law school. So.
Exactly. Were you in Buhari?
Yes.
Yes. And so I got to Buhari. I just done the Future Awards and was on a high. This was huge success. It went to Buhari's, locked up in this village. I thought, no, this is not the meaning of life. And so I fell into a big depression. I couldn't go to class for many days, you know, for like 2 weeks. And that's what clinical depression is. If you're so sad that you can't function as you would function before, and if you don't want to engage with the world, then you are depressed. Because that's the same thing as if you are sick. If you had an accident, then you're not able to go to work. And so if something is happening with your mind that stops you from going to work, it's as serious as a leg injury. So that happened. So off and on. In 2016, it got huger. Because a lot of things happened at the same time. I've talked about part of it with Forbes, which is business challenges I had faced. For the first time in my business life, I was dealing with cash flow issues in my business. We had just worked for the Buhari campaign, and it was about to hit 1 year, and I could see that the signs that this wasn't going anywhere. So there was that. There was my personal challenges, and there were my own health challenges. So all of this just turned into a perfect storm. You can't really isolate in terms of degree which one pushed me over the edge. Most likely money, because I often say that before then I used to say at least I can cry in business class. And you can't even cry in business class and there's a problem. So I think the financial challenges kind of tipped me into this place. And this wasn't that, it is the beautiful thing about depression. This wasn't that I was lacking really, that I was poor really, because we had, our company had huge savings and all of those things, but just a dislocation of my sense of my place in the world. And we live in a competitive space where you're constantly comparing yourself with your peers. And you know, people always, but I like to say that because people often think that I don't do that, or I've never been victim of that, because they see me and they think.
I don't care. I'm in my own lane, which is good, but I mean,
but I have to say
inevitable.
Yes, so people know that it is natural. And social comparison is one of the biggest things that triggers depression. You know, so social comparison is huge.
Very true. I completely
so that happened in 2016, and I fell into this big bad depression that took me almost 3 months. And for the first time in my life, I had thoughts of suicide.
Clinical depression, pretty much, and how he had started having thoughts about suicide. So, but very quickly, let us know how you got out of that.
Right. So I always say the way I do it. There are, I think, about 251 validated positive psychology interventions. Positive psychology is a study of happiness. And usually they say for people, you have to mix and match what strategy works for you if you're not using pills. But pills are only best for major depressive episodes. Now, in my own case, I stumbled onto solutions. First I was seeing a therapist, but the therapist saw me for a very brief period of time and then said I was already on my own journey, and she thought that it was going to terminate in clarity and healing. So I only did about 5 sessions with her, and she said, I could do this. Because I was already curious about what to do. And I began to study happiness at that time, even though I didn't know it was going to end up in Joy Inc. So I began to read books, read the research, you know, read papers, especially double-blind randomized control trials, just fascinated by what people were doing. And so I began to try things. And the one thing that helped me come over depression, and I'm very worried about saying this because I don't want it to be misconstrued. Because religion is one of the exacerbators of depression. But in my own case, prayer helped greatly. deeply and greatly. But not the kind of prayer I was praying before my depression. It was the kind of prayer I was forced to pray after my depression. I began to go deeper and spend more time, and the intensity and degree of my prayers began to be more elaborate and more honest. It wasn't just the same vain repetitions. It became something fundamentally different. And what was remarkable, when I began to research about depression, I found out two things. One, meditation was one of the most important interventions for people who were trying to build up their immunity against depression. So it made sense to me because my prayers became more meditative rather than declaratory or requesting.
Which is what a lot of people do.
Which is what a lot of people do in this religious environment, across board. And so that really helped me. That's second. And secondly, there's a researcher at Columbia in the United States called Lisa Miller. And she studies the analogies between spirituality and depression. And she says that it begins to appear, based on her study of people who have overcome depression, that depression is a spiritual knock on the door to a deeper experience of transcendence or God.
So it's not left for you to open.
So it's not left for you to open. So it's almost like it can lead you in different places. And so I was extremely lucky because I could have chosen a different religious route that would have led to condemnation, judgment, and making me feel like I wasn't enough. Which again is what happens in this society when people go and meet pastors who don't understand what depression really is. They say it's a demon spirit. They say that you've committed a sin. They say that something is wrong with you. They tell you that God is punishing you. So I could have gone left. Yeah. I was lucky I went right. I also began to do something that, again, I learned by myself called gratitude journaling, which was to begin to be grateful. Because before now, what I realized was, because things had always come easily for me, fame had come when I was younger, etc. I began to take it for granted. Yes. Yeah. And I began to just look for more rather than take a breath. And so this forced me to take a look.
That's very...
And not to be grateful for the things that money can buy. And why I'm grateful for that, I thank God that after that, our business even went in terms of financial metrics and all of that. But now I don't think, those are not the things I'm grateful for. I love them. They're great. I like money. I use it to do a lot of good things. But I never wake up in the morning. I rarely wake up in the morning and say, I'm grateful for this contract or that. I wake up in the morning and I'm grateful for friends and family and the ability to not, to live the kind of life I want to live, for sunlight. Because we know that there's something called, there's a depression that happens in winter, across Canada, across North America.
So it's weather related.
It's weather related. This happens, yes. Suicide rates increase in cold countries at winter. In Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Cape Town, in the city. So those two things and other things helped me. But there are all kinds of ways that people can, and I always encourage them, if they can afford to see a therapist, they should.
Very,
a therapist will help
seek
them.
help.
Yes.
Let's quickly talk about the Joy Hub very, very quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's this. So when I met, because the work I'm doing is not just about depression and anxiety. It's about, again, helping people live their best possible lives. But I met, all the profits from Joy Inc. are invested in two charities: Mentally Aware Foundation and She Writes Woman. And I found that they didn't have a space where young people could go to when they had mental health issues, and I thought that was alarming. So I began to raise money for them. Anyway, long story short, thanks to Red and to other donors, including the Real Woman Foundation, Stanbic IBTC, and all of that, we've managed to raise the money. And so we're presently working on the space. And so in August, hopefully, we will be able to unveil a place that young people can go to. Mentally Aware is also finalizing their app that young people can use when they have problems. And both of them are trying to do a toll-free line. Okay. And so if people stay connected to our website, joyinc.xyz,
I was going to ask for that.
They will, in August, towards the end of August, they will see announcements of the location and how they can access help. From
social media handles, is there where they can?
At Joy Incredible on Instagram, at Joy Incredible on LinkedIn. And also, if they need immediate help, when they go to Joy Inc. site, joyinc.xyz, they will see a link called Need Help. And you could see the toll-free lines and the presently existing infrastructure that can help people with mental health.
Joyinc.xyz.
Yes.
At Joy Inc. Incredible.
Yes, at Joy Incredible.
Joy Incredible.
On Instagram, joyinc.xyz is the website.
So please make sure you get in touch if you need to. I probably would actually help people.
Spread the word, yes.
Because I've gone through my own phase as well. Sometime in 2011, 2012.
Right.
I know how tough it can be.
People don't know, but
I didn't seek help, sadly, but I reached out without necessarily saying what was wrong with me, and over time, like you said, not everybody's that lucky. So thanks a lot for being here today.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything you continue to do.
Well, finally, I have a daily newsletter called thedailyvulnerable.com, where I share daily strategies, a free newsletter. If you go to thedailyvulnerable.com and sign up, you'll get this newsletter in your box every morning at 6 o'clock.
The daily vulnerable.
Vulnerable, yes, the daily vulnerable.
Thank you very much, Chude.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Good to see you again.